The pain of being far away from yourself is greater than being abandoned from another person. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things I wish I knew in my 20s. So currently I'm 32 years old, and I look back now and I'm like, I wish someone told me about this stuff. So I'm sharing this with you so you won't have to go through so many years of needing to learn this. Number 1 is that it's never too late to start something new. I grew up feeling like I was always behind, and society giving me this idea that I am behind in life. And I got to the age of 23 years old, and I was struck with severe depression because I thought, oh my gosh, life is passing me and I have yet to do what I really want to do. And on top of that, I didn't know what I wanted to do because I was so lost. It's never too late, whether you're 28, 35 years old, it's never too late to start something new, and to not take shortcuts when it comes to learning something new, and to honor the time that's needed. And sometimes when you try to take shortcuts, it takes you 5 or 10 steps back. And so it's best to honor the time that's needed for something to be learned, for something to unravel, whether it be a project or to put time into that online course that you want to work on, instead of pushing for something to happen so quickly. Because we have this idea that, oh, time is running out, I should be here by this age, I should be married, I should have kids, I should. And it's like so much pressure on the body and on the mind. And this is societal expectations. This is not true for everyone. And to take back your power, to become more sovereign, means to say, no, this is not true for me, and I'm not behind, and I set the rules for myself. To slow down to get there faster, instead of pushing and then getting burnt out and then needing to wait for that period of time of burnout to pass by. Number 2, value yourself. And don't wait to do the thing that you really want to do. This is something that was very hard for me. I've been wanting to do YouTube since 2015. But the thing that kept on holding me back was that, well, I'm afraid people will judge me. I'm afraid that I'm not good enough. I'm afraid that I won't get an audience. And all these fears were the things that I was focusing on, instead of focusing on putting my creation forward. Because what you create is so valuable, and no one that you see on YouTube started off with 100,000 subscribers or 50,000 subscribers. They started from 0, and they were learning along the way. And so honor the time needed for you to learn. Honor the time for you to be a beginner, instead of pushing, and instead of placing such unrealistic expectations on yourself. To love yourself no matter what. To love yourself means to put into action what you want to create, instead of waiting for yourself to reach a certain level that you think is, okay, I'm ready for this. No, just start doing it, and you'll learn along the way. You might make mistakes, and that's okay. And those mistakes are learning opportunities that later on you'll thank yourself for just doing the thing instead of waiting. As someone who had been through depression, the solar plexus chakra is what's affected, and it affects your willpower, your sense of leadership, your ability to move forward in something. And so just doing the thing will help you to get out of the stagnation or the rut that you're in. Number 3, communicate your feelings, and don't hide from saying what you really need to say. To your partner, to your friends, especially to your partner. In intimate relationships, this can be so hard because it triggers the things that we don't want to look at. Abandonment wounds, fear of not being loved, being shunned. And as a person who was a chronic people pleaser, this was so hard. It felt like death for me to communicate my feelings and to say what I'm going through. And let alone, I didn't even know I was feeling certain emotions. I was numb, and I just knew that I felt very insecure. I didn't feel confident. And so with time, I eventually started to reconnect back to my emotions through practices of meditation and yoga, as well as journaling, which is such a huge part of my life that helps me to come back to myself. I would journal about what I would want to say when I was in an intimate relationship, because I didn't want to explode. I didn't want to just, throw all my emotions at the person I was with, because they wouldn't receive it. I would not receive another person if they came at me very strongly. That really helped me with moving forward, valuing myself. And that the word value is the number one thing that I've been really honing in on in the last 10, 12 years of my life. That is through saying what I need to say with compassion, and to honor when I'm angry, and not to throw it at the other person, and to have a ritual where I release the anger on my own, and to cry if I need to cry, instead of hiding and acting like it didn't happen, because it's going to happen again. And this can be very difficult, to say what you're actually feeling and to know how to eloquently express it. It's a whole skill, really, and that's something that I needed to learn, and I'm still learning up until now. Number 4 is to love yourself, to make space for your emotions, and to have self-care practices that help you to do that. I burnt myself out when I was 26 years old. I went through stage 4 of adrenal fatigue, and I was never really the same after that. It took me a while, and the greatest lesson I've learned is to slow down and to not place so much pressure on myself. And to love yourself means to give yourself a break. Do you have a practice where you feel a sense of relaxation, full body relaxation? Do you have a practice where you're able to release the pent-up stress in your body? A lot of people are disconnected from their body, and to have a practice to reconnect back to your body is so important in order to prevent yourself from getting sick in the future. Take care of yourself now instead of getting sick later on, which will take maybe years of recovering from. And to take care of what you're eating and how you're eating, to chew your food slowly. But this actually does not allow you to absorb the nutrients from the food when you don't take the time to chew, to pay attention to what you're eating. I had to learn the hard way. I had a lot of bloating issues. I had SIBO at some point, and that's when there's intestinal bacterial overgrowth, candida overgrowth, a lot of issues in my gut. So eventually I realized when I just take a moment to eat, slow down, I feel so nourished, not only on the physical level, but on the emotional level. We've become so disconnected from nature that we have developed so many emotional and physical illnesses. There's a reason why there's so many people depressed and anxious. You feel disconnected from your body, that's a sign that you need to really have a practice of coming back to yourself. Whether it be journaling, yoga, meditation, shaking your body, going out into nature. Number 5, this tip is for women, those who are going through their menstrual cycle. As someone who had been through different issues when it comes to my period, when I would get it prior and then during, where I would get very emotional and I would have a lot of cramps and feel weak and migraines and all sorts of things, all sorts of symptoms, PMS symptoms. I would say to embrace your period. There's a reason why so many women struggle with their period and have so many pains. It's because your body is communicating to you that there's an imbalance. And mainstream medicine will say take a birth control pill and that will resolve your issue. But that's not the solution. That's just masking the problem and actually making it worse. Birth control pills deplete your body of so many vitamins and minerals and causes for depression. How can you love your period? And this is how I did it. And that was through eating nourishing foods, slowing down in eating healthy foods. It's very important to make time and space for yourself during your period to honor the tenderness that is present, to love your womb space. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any sort of recommendations for videos that you would like to see from me, feel free to comment below, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.